Hey guys, welcome. Let's get this party started. Let's see if everything's working correctly. Yeah, the sound is working great. Let's fix the camera a little bit, get everything aligned, and get this party started. Welcome. Saturday night. Saturday night. Welcome to Colombo, Sri Lanka party time. Thanks everyone for joining tonight. I want to say a special thank you. A very special, super special thank you and lots of love to my member. Someone joined the membership and bought me a coconut, 5410 from New York City. A really kind person who has said that, really likes my content. So I appreciate that, and he says that my content has value to him, so he's supporting me by buying me a coconut. Thank you so much, buddy, brother. Lots of love to you. Hopefully, one day you can make the live stream. I got today. We got the Lion Lager and pizza. So funny story. I got a funny story with the pizza. Let me just start off by saying again, thank you to everyone who is subscribing, liking, commenting, sharing. If you could please do me a favor and just click the like button, make a comment that helps get the channel out there. And if you like what you're seeing, because I know you guys join the live stream afterwards, I will reply to any messages that you make. Please comment. I really would appreciate that because it lets me know what you're liking, what you're not liking, what you want, etc. So tonight we're going to hang out and we're going to talk about some of the funny things that happened this week, some of the things that are going on, and just life. Unless you guys join live and ask me any questions, then we'll go from there. So today's Saturday. It is 6:50 p.m. Here in Sri Lanka, and it is 10:20 in Korea. ET 522. Thanks a lot, brother, for logging in from Daejeon, South Korea. It is late night in Korea. I'm finished work, so that's why I'm doing the live stream now. Cheers to you, brother. I hope everything is well for you in Korea. Really crappy weekend weather-wise. Here, sunny and hot. So hopefully your week has gone well. And again, thank you very much for joining. Hope everything is going well. I have some great work news. I have some great vacation news. I have some great holiday news. And we're going to get into that in a bit. So hang around for that. We're going to talk about what's going on. Work-wise, life-wise, etc. Let's get some of the channel stuff taken care of. I want to say thank you to everyone who is, I'm going to say it again, thank you to everyone who is liking, sharing, commenting. I did get quite a number of new subscribers. We're up to 2,611 subscribers. So I got about 20 or 30 subscribers in the last week. But again, unless your profile is public, I cannot see who subscribes. Only had one public subscriber show up from last week out of the 20 that subscribed. Brian Bernardino. Thank you very much for joining, brother. Truly appreciate your subscription. Love it. All right. Thank you, ET522, for the comment on the parade. The Candy Perahera videos are up. Part 1 is traveling there and the setup and getting ready for the parade, and talking about the parade. And then part 2, which came up yesterday, was the parade itself. It was interesting. I haven't been in like 20 years, I think. and it wasn't as long as I thought it was, but it was a little more on the boring side, less elephants than I thought, because they have like the Buddhist parade, then the Hindu parade, then the Tamil or the Hindu parade, and then I don't know. But the first part where those elephants came was okay, and the place where we were sitting was okay. But next time we definitely want to get a hotel room or a better vantage point, because it was difficult. You want to get it on a corner so that you can see down instead of seeing perpendicular. You want to see like this, because then you can see the elephants from the front. Seeing them from the side is not that good. But we were less than, I'm going to say 10 meters. So it was quite nice, and we had nice chairs, nice and comfortable. And we showed up just when the parade was starting, so we didn't have to wait very long. If you saw the video, some of those people have been waiting there for 12, 14, 20 hours on the street. So yeah, I was looking at the weather. I have webcams from Korea that I look at every day. So let's see here. Where's the webcam? Yeah, so this is a live video of downtown Seoul, and this is the Han River. This camera is from the south side of Gangnam. This is Yongsan Station, and over here is supposed to be Yeouido. So we're looking westbound, okay? And you can see the floating islands are right here. This is Bampo Bridge, and it is foggy. This is looking at Namsan. This is Namsan Tower right here. So we're looking north from Gangnam, looking north across the Han River. This is Itaewon. This is the Hyatt Hotel. There's a live picture. Oh, no, sorry. This is a live picture. So now you can see it's cleared up a little bit. So this is Namsan. There's the Hyatt Hotel. This is the Han River. You know, and in the daytime, you can see. So it goes back 12 hours. And it started raining in the evening. But Itaewon is a beautiful area. You can see this area here is the Itaewon area. And I used to live like right up here. I think it's here, behind here. Yeah, I think that's the Hamilton Hotel right there, those lights there. I'm not sure. It's been a while since I've looked at this from this end. But anyway, I check the videos every day just to see what it's like. And I know what the weather is like, so I see how crappy it was this weekend. Sorry about that. Anyway, we were going to talk about what's going on. So first of all, again, double thank you, triple thank you to everyone who is liking. Please, please do me that favor and just click like on this video, on any video that you want. It helps get the channel out. Even if you make a comment or share it, it helps get the channel out. I need to try in the next 6 weeks to get my monetization back. I fell below the threshold and they suspended my monetization. So you cannot super chat, you cannot provide me any support on the channel. You have to go outside the channel. Go to Buy Me a Coconut. And again, as I said, I will support 100% matching donation to buy fruit and vegetables from local farmers, eggs, fruits and vegetables. Went grocery shopping today. Yeah, yeah, that I don't think that would ever work. Yeah, it wouldn't work. the police would come by and tell you to go away. They came by and checked a few times the safety of the wooden stage that we were sitting on, and they were checking everywhere, and they were getting people to turn off lights, making sure nobody had like fireworks or anything, because you don't want to scare the elephants. They were checking bags, everything. There were heavy security for this. It's the first time actually that the Perahera has happened since COVID, so 3 years. So it was quite, and it was the main one. Sam Coker, thank you, brother. Thank you for joining. Where are you calling from? Let us know where you're calling from. Thank you for joining the party. Yeah, you know, it's a religious festival. So the Perahera is a religious festival, and it is, they bring out the tooth relic of Buddha. And as you watch the video, the final elephant is carrying the tooth, and it is where we all stand up, show respect to the tooth, the relic of Buddha. And so it's a religious festival, as well as, just like Chuseok, just like Thanksgiving, it's a fall harvest festival. So it's celebrating the fall harvest. So those are Kandian dancers from the city of Kandy. So the style of dancing is a little bit different from the kingdom, the ancient kingdom. So it was quite nice and quite interesting to see. Would I go do it again? Maybe. I don't know whether I would or wouldn't. It was a little too crowded for me. I would prefer to watch it on television, right? And we were lucky it didn't rain. So what else is going on? Let's talk about that. So the first thing is, we're booked next week. We are off to Trincomalee. That is going to be such a great trip, and you guys are going to love the content. It's going to be about 2 weeks worth of content, 6 videos I'm going to probably make from that. And we are going up north, my first time to Trincomalee. I've never been, ever. And hopefully the rest of this year, I will be able to finish up my trip around Sri Lanka. I got 2 places I'd like to finish up this year, is Aragan Bay and Vilapatu. So the northwest and the southeast. Those are the last 2 places I have to be. I have been before, but it's been so long since I've been there. Aragan Bay, maybe 5-6 years. And Vilapatu, maybe 2 years. Yeah, I had to fiddle with the camera to finally get some good video, because I'm not a camera tech. So I had to, for some strange reason, the video I was taking was not of good quality. And I was like, what's going on? So then I fiddled with the camera, and I found that I had to reduce the settings to allow more light in. But so it did, because it was very dark. The only lights were coming from the animals themselves and from the fire lanterns that they were walking down the street. All the street lights were turned off. There were a few on, but for the most part, they turned them off. So yeah, thank you for that. As I've said before in my videos, I'm not a professional guy. I'm just trying to share with you guys what my life is like. So Trincomalee trip is going to be a 3-day travel. The first night, Kandy, outside of Kandy. So we're returning to Kandy. Second night, halfway to Trincomalee. Third night, fourth night, Trincomalee. Third night, fourth night, fifth night, Habarana. And then 6th night home. So because we have a 6-day Chuseok holiday, in Korea. I have decided to take those days off because I wasn't initially. Initially, I was going to work, but I was going to work around my travel schedule. I was going to take the laptop and I was going to set it up and be able to work. But I said, nah, because last week I signed a new contract and added huge amount of hours to my schedule. Like I'm talking about 24 hours additional per week. So I'm going to be doing close to 50 to 60 hours a week working. So I'm going to scale back my Saturday and Sunday classes. I'm going to reduce those. Or maybe I won't, because what I've done is, stupid me, not stupid me, I I spend what I earn, which I shouldn't do. I should save it. But I was planning a trip to Thailand for 1 month. I like to get away from Sri Lanka for a little while. It makes me appreciate it more. Plus, I'm meeting some friends in Thailand. So I've talked about that before. My friend Yui is coming for a week with her friend. Then I'm going to try to get Princess Jasmine to come with my other friend Izzy for another week. And then California Dave, hopefully he can come too. King Ricks said he was going to try to come. So that'll be fun if we can get him out there. So I had initially booked like a 3-star, 2-bedroom, 3-star place. And then I was thinking, you know what? Why don't I just upgrade to a 1-bedroom, 5-star place for myself? And they can get like, a 3-star place close by. So that's what I did. I got myself a sweet beachside condo, high floor, amazing views, beautiful place. So I'm going to be in that place for a month, and I will be working. I will reduce the amount of hours I work. And because it's 2 hours behind, I can do all my morning classes with no problem. I can even do my lunchtime classes because, except for the week that Yui was going to be there, I'm going to take that week off. But the rest of the 3 weeks, I'll just take the weekends off. Because, I'm just there to relax and chill out. Because I'll be finished work by 6 p.m., 7 p.m. local time. And I can go out for dinner and just relax and have fun. Because I have tons of friends there. Tons of friends. You guys know, if you watch my videos, and you know that I follow Alex Bam Bam, who is one of my mentors on YouTube. He's got a great channel. You got to check him out. Living in Pattaya, retired. Alex Bam Bam. Let him know that Sri Lankan Sammy sent you. He does live streams every Sunday night. He goes 4 or 5 hours. I don't know how he does it. I can't. I watch and I try to watch for 4 or 5 hours and I can't. I'm like, wow, so much content. He's great. And he's a fun guy. You guys got to check him out. Please let him know I sent you. So I decided on that. I already booked the hotels are booked, or not hotels. The Airbnbs are booked. The flight is booked, but I need to upgrade my ticket to business class. Yui's got her flights booked, so they're flying business class. So landing at Bangkok Airport, if you are business class, you get the fast track. You have to have the fast track. Otherwise, it's like, immigration at Bangkok Airport is really crowded. And who knows what it's going to be like in February. Right now, it's not that bad. But who knows what it's going to be like, And the other thing is that February is the beginning of the low season. March really is, but February is the beginning of the low. So I got a good deal on the apartment. And like I've been to Pattaya, well, when it's actually not Pattaya, it's south of Pattaya and Pratunnak Hill, which is like the Beverly Hills um, of Thailand, of that area, because it's a upscale area and away from the city. Very beautiful views of both Pattaya and Jomtien. Very beautiful beaches. There's a couple of beach clubs that I'm going to go to, and I've already found out about one of the luxury hotels where we're going to get a day pass to go to one of the luxury hotels and their pool. It's the cliff overlooking the beach, overlooking the ocean, and they have an amazing pool. So we're going to check that out. You know, I've got transportation. I know where the grocery stores are, where the fruit stands are, and everything. So food isn't going to be a problem. I know where the liquor store is, but again, I'm not drinking that much. But when the girls are there, you know, I'll have to pick up some champagne and stuff, because I will only drink champagne, and they love champagne. So Yui's an old friend of mine, like 10 years we've been friends. Just pulled up a picture of her, popped up on my Facebook from 8 years ago, where we were celebrating Chuseok at my old club, her and a bunch of my other friends. So she says like, oh God, that's such an old picture. Anyway, what else is going on? So we just finished dinner earlier this week at Culture Colombo. That video is going to come up soon. You guys are going to love that. That's a Sri Lankan food place. My gosh, it was so amazing, the dinner there, going out with mom and dad. Tomorrow I'm going to film a video about some charity work that we're doing here, donating books and backpacks, shoes, and like school supplies to a local school. You guys are going to see that. That's a great philanthropic endeavor for students here. And then Tuesday, I'm going out for dinner at a fancy restaurant. I was invited for dinner at a fancy restaurant. Mom and dad and we're all going out to that. Next weekend is Trincomalee trip for 6 days. Then we're back in Colombo. I'll be working, hella working. I got my doctor's appointment October 7. Blood test next weekend. October 7 is the doctor's visit with the blood test results to look at my medication. I bought 90 days worth of medication here in Sri Lanka, and it cost me 16,000 rupees, which is about $50 for 3 months worth of medication. Now, most of it is supplements, but that is cheap. So I got the price per pill. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to compare that to Thailand, because I can get all of my prescription medicine without a prescription in Thailand. I've done it. I did it last time I went in August, and I bought 6 months worth of pills. So this time I'm going to go and I'm going to see what the price is and see how much cheaper it is, and get myself 6 months worth from there. We're having a little bit of trouble getting one medication here, so I found an alternative that is available, but I need to check with my doctor to see if that is okay for me, because I don't want any drug interactions. So that's the other thing that's happening. We're going to be planning for Christmas. My birthday is Christmas Day. What? Those of you that don't know, I am born on Christmas Day. So I will be 55. Wow. Oh, yeah, I totally forgot. October 7 as well, I'm planning to go out, a night out, dinner and drinks, clubs, with my friend Sung from Korea. He's here in Sri Lanka for a year he's a Korean American. I met him in Korea he's here for a year on a military exchange between the US and, between many countries and Sri Lanka. They're having a 1-year training session. So he's here for that. So, and I talked to my cousin. I said, let's go out. And he says, yeah, no problem. I can hook that up. So we're going to set that up. That'll be fun. It'll be my first time going out in Sri Lanka, like to a club kind of thing. Then we're planning Christmas, and then we're planning New Year. I talked about that last time. All right, ET522 is asking about online teaching consulting. I've spoken with him quite a bit, providing, consulting, like providing him, advice and stuff on that, on how to survive in Korea. That's what I was doing before in some of my YouTube videos, and that's how he found me. And we've talked online quite a bit about it. And for those of you who are interested in like a deep dive, like a life audit, I will do that. You can click the link in Buy Me a Coconut and click extras, and there is a consulting option that you can purchase if you wish, and I can provide you a deep dive audit of your life in writing, my recommendations on what you should do, how you should do it, specific to your situation, and I can provide links, contacts, etc., like that. So it's a full service that I provide. I figure, I've got 14 years of experience in Korea, and I've got 40 years worth of experience in life. Yeah. Good night, brother. Watch this part of the video after, and you'll see what I'm talking about. I'm going to answer your question. Okay. Have a good night. Thank you again. Lots of love, brother, and be safe. Be happy. So he was asking about. Let's just look at the question again. Online teaching consulting. All right. So basically what I do, a lot of you may know this from what I've discussed in the past. I'm an online teacher. Excuse me. Too much beer. This is like, how many liters? Or half a liter? It's probably half a liter. No, 625. Wow, that's a lot. And I'm not a big beer drinker. So, I teach English online, but I'm not really an English teacher. What I do is I help students improve on their current levels. And it's more like I'm a personal trainer. So like you go to a golf pro, you go to a personal trainer, and they will take what you have and help you improve. Okay. I don't like to say I'm a teacher. I'm more of a facilitator. I mean, I'm a teacher, but basically what I do is for kids, I have hooked up with a company that is exclusive to high-end parents and children. So these children are really smart, pretty fluent in English, and they are interviewing at high-end schools for seats in those schools. So I help them improve upon their interview skills so that they can get into these schools. That's what I do with one company. The other company is basically just English practice. Practice. For 1 hour, all they do is read and talk. 90% the student does reading and talking, and I help correct them because they don't get enough time speaking English. So they want to practice speaking English. It's very easy. I don't really do much, but this is what Korean parents want. They want a native English speaker to listen to their kids. They don't listen to me, but they don't want me talking. They only want me correcting. But when these kids are so advanced, I don't need to correct them. Now, some of these kids are really young, like 5 years old, and they speak fluent English. I'd show you guys a video. Maybe I'll let you listen to a video. I record all my classes for security because I'm technically alone with these kids online. So I don't want any problems. %50 of the parents are there. The other 50%. Let's see. Is this working? Your younger sister's name. All right. What does it look like?
It has a white dog.
It has a white dog?
Yeah, like this. Like this little dog.
Ah, okay.
Like this little dog. And it is so cute.
What else can you tell me about your shirt? Your favorite shirt or a shirt you like?
Because they're white and light blue.
And why do you like those colors? Are they your favorite colors?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. What does your favorite shirt look like?
My favorite shirt looks there's a little white dog on it, and it is so cute.
So that is a 5-year-old girl that I was practicing making sentences earlier today. So I have a lot of young kids between the ages of 5 and 8-ish. Then I have another group of kids who are like 12, 14. And then I have adults. So the adults are two groups. One are mandated programs by their HR team to help improve their English. Those are hard. That is the new contract I signed. That's going to be a hard one. The second one is where students want to improve their English, and these are senior executives, like CEOs. I used to teach actually 2 CEOs of Samsung, not Samsung Group, like not the group president, but the like Samsung Hynix, Samsung Life, Samsung Electronics, and the different divisions of Samsung. And I was at the global headquarters. And I met the group CEO like 2 or 3 times. He was in the office walking by. So, I mean, you know, that happens. I work with these adults basically like they're helping them with their golf swing. 2 or 3 times a week, they will sit down with me and just talk, and we will talk about things. Now, because of my age and because of my experience, I can talk to them on their level, which is why I'm very successful. So ET522 was asking, you know, how do I get those jobs? And it's purely from experience. I have been doing it for so long that I have a file at Samsung, and every time they want a new teacher, they call me. Because they know I can do the job. They know I have the experience, and they know that I'm qualified. So they just say, which company are you working for now? Okay, have them send us the contract. Because they don't hire directly. I have to go through a third party for tax purposes or whatever. What else? How do you get these jobs? Sending out resumes to every recruiter you can. Sending out resumes every day. Getting a job is a full-time job. So I don't do that anymore because they call me. But I have a list. I'm currently working. How many companies am I working for? I have a list. Where is it? I'm currently working for 6 different companies. 2 kids companies, and then 4 adult companies. 2 of the adult companies I recently started working with. The other 2, I've been working with them for 10 years. So let me show you my schedule. You guys can see. There's no private information or anything on here. It's just my calendar. So this is my calendar this past week. So you can see the companies, and the green and the blue are kids. Everything else is adults. There's not a lot. It was a quiet week. This is my week next week. Purple is all the new classes. You can see it's quite busy. This was a quiet week because a lot of my adult students canceled for business trips. You can see, and then we have the holiday here. Red is me taking time off. You can see that just crazy busy. Like Wednesday, 5 hours and 3 hours, and then 2 hours, 2.5 hours. Tuesdays, like from 8 o'clock in the morning till 11:30 at night, with a couple of breaks in between there. But it's not very hard. People say, well, that's a lot of work. I say, actually, it's not. It's not. It's just me sitting here talking. I have developed a program where it's quite easy for me to teach and keep the student happy. I've developed a program for that. Now, if you want to know about it, you're going to have to, I'm not going to give that information for free. You're going to have to hire me to consult with you on that. And I'll show you where you can find these where you can find these jobs and how you can teach them. You know, it's easy to get the job. It's not easy to keep it. Right? If you want to be a good teacher, you have to get a good review, and the student has to be happy. And to do that, that's what I can teach you. So let me know if you're interested in that. So what else is going on? Let's take a look at the calendar. So I said, okay, I got to film some videos tomorrow. I'm going to play some video games tonight. I've been playing Dying Light 2. Wow, what a great game. Really love it. I'm not a huge fan of open world. I prefer story-driven games. But this one is okay. So next week we have dinner and I have my doctor's appointment. I do want to take a trip to the beach next weekend if the weather is good. Hopefully this weekend the weather was amazing. It's been raining so much recently, but this weekend the weather was really good. Like today and tomorrow the weather's supposed to be great. Let's take a look. But it has been cool at night because of the rain. It's been very cool. Like I haven't had to have the fans on at all. Yeah, next weekend looks really nice. Hot and sunny. Well, partly cloudy, which is fine by me. So head to the beach. Hopefully the weather will be good next week and we can head to the beach. Couldn't do it this week. We're planning on doing it this weekend, this Saturday, but we had a technician come into the house to take a look at the washing machine. The washing machine is leaking water. So no laundry. We got to do laundry by hand. And there was a piece broken on the inside. So we're they came and took it away to get it fixed, and they'll fix it and bring it back. I forgot to video it, but I went to a chocolate shop a couple days ago, and it was so much fun. But like all the chocolates I love, I love white chocolate, so that I miss that. Anyway, yeah, that looks like it for the calendar. So in 2 weeks, we'll be leaving for the Trincomalee trip. I'm so looking forward to that because that'll be my last holiday, October, November, and December, 3 months straight working. I mean, October 9th is a holiday, so it'll be a 4-day work week that week, but I'm not going anywhere. And yeah, the savings plan is getting into full swing. A huge transfer will take place right after Halloween. And that'll be my next tranche to deposit into a fixed deposit here in Sri Lanka. Rates are down between 13 and 15% right now, but I doubt they're going to go any lower. There's still issues with the finances in Sri Lanka, the government finances. So I've paid for the hotels. I've paid for the flight. Then the next thing I need to do is I need to book the VIP access Silk Route. You guys know I love Silk Route. Yo, 3K. What's up, brother? Good to see you. Thank you for joining. Glad you could make it. Welcome to the party. Let's have a beer. Cheers, brother. How are you? Yeah, so Silk Route, I need to book that. So I'm going to book that in November. And then if I upgrade my flight, which I'm going to do in November, then I will not need to book VIP transit service in Bangkok because your business class ticket gets you the VIP service. So I gotta look at that. When am I upgrading my flights? I didn't mark that down. Yeah, it's too early for a beer. Yeah, I would assume you are. You're in North America, right? Because if you're in London, it's 3 o'clock. It's not too early for a beer if you're in London. But if you're in LA or New York, east or west coast of North America, it's 7 a.m. or 10 a.m. So that is a little bit early, or it's actually too late from the night before, right? So I mean, it's Saturday morning for you. It could be Friday night. Oh, Kingston, that's right. I remember now, Kingston, Ontario. Yeah, so it's 10 a.m. for you. Kingston, I loved Kingston. Such a fun, quiet little town. Quiet little town. I loved it. Thanks for joining, brother. Fellow Canadian. Cheers, brother. Molson Canadian. Let's pretend. Brother, let me tell you something. I left Korea at the wrong time. Next week, there's a Tim Hortons opening up in Seoul. A real Tim Hortons corporate store is opening in downtown Korea, downtown Seoul. Yeah, so just so you know, it is 7:30 p.m. here in Sri Lanka. So we're how many hours difference? Like 8-9 hours difference. So yeah, so there's a Tim Hortons opening, and I was like, oh, I miss my Tim Hortons. I remember one year, I think it has to be about 6 years to 8 years ago. I used to go to Fukuoka, Japan, the southern part of Japan, for Canada Day. there was a Canadian expat there who lived there. He's lived there for 20 years. He used to have these huge Canada Day parties. There was not a lot of Canadians in Korea. So I saw online this huge party where it was a celebration of everything Canadian. So they had Canadian food, Canada Dry ginger ale, lobster, and one year they had Tim Hortons for like 10 or 100 people or something like that. They made Tim Hortons coffee that they brought from Canada. Now, this is before the internet and before delivery, and you could order stuff like that, because a few years later, my friend Richard bought Tim Hortons coffee pods for his Nespresso machine. So he got me that as a gift for my birthday. And that was great because we used to always hang out at his house. Anyway, I miss Tim Hortons. A double and a box of Timbits. Oh, gosh, a large double. The amount of cream in that and sugar. Oh, my arteries are hardening just thinking about it, because I drink black coffee now. I drink black espresso, but that coffee, for those of you who don't know, Tim Hortons is the Dunkin' Donuts of Canada. It is really popular because of the flavor of coffee beans they use and the cream that they use. They use very, very heavy cream in their coffees. And then they have the donut holes, which are called Timbits. Tim Horton was a famous hockey player in Canada, and he opened up a coffee shop called Tim Hortons, which is named after him. And the nickname now is "Let's Go Get a Timmy's." Okay, that's the nickname for one. Yeah, I haven't been to Manila. I was in the Philippines for 6 months, but I didn't go to Manila because it's just too crowded. I don't like big cities. Like Bangkok, I'm flying into Bangkok. I thank you for joining out now, but I was talking earlier. I'm heading over to Thailand for 1 month in February, mid-February, for a month, and I got friends coming and joining me, so it's going to be an adventure. But I'm going to be working there. But spending any time in Bangkok, I did it once. Don't want to do it again. It's just so crowded. Trying to get anywhere and do anything is just is a day trip. Timmy's is very popular in Asia, but I haven't seen one outside of Canada. So thanks again, brother, for joining. I really do appreciate you taking the time on a Saturday morning. I know how busy things are. How's the weather over there? This maritime storm obviously isn't affecting you that much. The hurricane and everything. You know what? You're right. I did see one in Dubai. When I was in Dubai, I did see one. I totally forgot about Dubai. But Dubai is not really Asia. That's more like Middle East. Arabia. I really wouldn't call that, Asia. But I don't really eat or drink Starbucks or things like that when I travel. I do it at home, 22 degrees. Gosh, that's cold. Right now, the temperature is 28 here. It's 28 degrees. It is always hot. And humidity, 70%. I don't have to use hand lotion or, lotion for dry skin anymore because it's so humid here. And being with all these computers, my room is extra hot. But the last few days, because of the rain, the last few weeks, because of the rain, it is a little chilly here today. Yeah, well, it is fall. It is after Labor Day. Finish that off. Holy cow. That was good. It took me an hour and a half to finish that off. Okay. an hour and a half to finish that off. So I still got pizza. I'm gonna have a pizza. I used to be able to polish off a whole pizza by myself, but these days, because of the way I diet, my stomach is so small that I can barely finish 2 or 3 pieces of a large pizza. Let me tell you, I started to tell the story about what is so funny, a funny story about the pizza. So I ordered it online, and you can order it to be delivered at a specific time. So I ordered it for 5:45 local time. So just after my class finished and just before the live stream was supposed to start. So the live stream was supposed to start at 6:30 local time. So I wanted the pizza to come at 5:45 so I could have it ready. It would cool down enough that I could have it while I'm shooting the video, shooting the live stream. And the beer was chilled and everything. And then, 6 o'clock, it hasn't arrived yet. They're usually very good at it. So then I go back and I check the email, 5:45. Yeah, it's now 6:15. And I'm like, huh? I ordered it for tomorrow. So I paid for it, ordered it for tomorrow. I use the Pizza Hut website. So I ordered from Pizza Hut, and I use their website. I do use PickMe, but mostly I use Uber Eats, if I'm going to order like Burger King. The only things I order is Burger King and Pizza Hut. So those are the only 2 things I really order delivery for. But PickMe doesn't have. Oh no, I ordered KFC on Friday from Uber Eats. So the 3 places, yeah, KFC, Burger King, and Pizza Hut. Well, I don't need to cancel because Mom is watching the Asia Cup final tomorrow night. So she wanted to have a pizza, but I was like, she'll figure out something else. And I said, Mom, pizza's already coming. It's already paid for. Enjoy. She's like laughing. She's laughing. No, you can't cancel. I tried to look that up to see if I could cancel, and it doesn't matter. It's not that big of a deal. It's like $10. It's not that big of a deal. I'm not going to cry over it. What's the other thing that's going on here? Yeah, so planning for Thailand, I got to figure out. So I bought an extension cord power bank, right? I bought 2 of them, one for travel and one for the house here. So I rewired everything last week, and I talked to you guys about that. I didn't do a video about it, but because I got these new fans, these new vacuums for the laptop, they suck air out. They actually, I should do a video on them and talk about them, but they are amazing for reducing the temperature of the laptop. Right now, the laptop's running, the CPU is running, and it's not even, you can't even hear it, 65 degrees, and the GPU is running at 50 degrees. The GPU is running about 2 degrees cooler, but it's not being used right now. A little bit for the video. The CPU is running probably 8 to 9 degrees cooler. And if I turn on the Lenovo fans and ramp them up to full power, right now it's running at 4,000 RPM. If I run it up to 5,500 RPM, which gets more noisy, the temperature drops by another 3 or 4 degrees. 65, 64, 62. GPU dropped another 2 degrees. So when I'm running a game, I don't want the system throttling. With a laptop, with this gaming laptop I have, the GPU is not of a concern for me. It's the CPU. Or maybe it's just the games I'm playing are CPU heavy. But I find that the CPU is maxing out, and it was running really, really hot. Even at idle, it was running at 75 degrees. I was like, that's too much for a CPU. So I figured out, how to. I have it elevated. I have a cooling fan underneath. I got these vacuum fans, one for each side, and I pulled it away from the wall and did all these things to help cool it more. Because what people, I got a lot of comments. Oh, you should do this, you should do that, and I'm like, well, you have to remember it's 30 degrees in this room, and that's the temperature that the computer starts at. It starts at the ambient room temperature. Then it goes from there. I mean, if you live in a place that's 20 degrees, of course, that's the temperature that it's going to start at. So it's going to be 10 degrees cooler. Here, I'm 10, 15 degrees hotter than the average place. So, yeah, it is hot here. And that's the one thing I love. I'm so not going to miss the cold weather of Korea and Canada. This year was the last time I went to Korea in the winter. I went in January and it was minus 20. I had to buy clothes in Korea, in Sri Lanka, to take with me, winter clothes. I left them in Korea. I gave them to Princess Jasmine. Said, go donate it. I'm never going to use it again. She goes, are you sure? I'm like, no. If I do, I'll buy some. There was jackets, long underwear, sweaters, long shirts, sweaters, gloves, hats, scarves, everything I needed. I had jeans and boots and socks. Or I even bought socks, thick socks, long underwear. Don't need it here. Never going to use it again. So, yeah, I left Korea in 2020, in the February 2020, 2 years ago. I left 2 years ago. And then I went back last year for 2 weeks. Hated it. It was so cold. My hands like shriveled up from the cold air. That's finished. So never going to have to worry about that again. The only place I'm going is someplace warm in February, warmer than where I am right now. So what else? Yeah, so Yo-Yo 3K, I just got back from the Parahera. Those videos are up, so please enjoy those. I'm going to Trincomalee in 2 weeks, so that is going to be a great video. I'm stopping off in outside of Kandy, outside of Divalaya, and then Trincomalee for 2-3 days, and then Habarana on the way back. So we're stopping off. Shizan, nice to see you, brother. Thanks, brother. I belong. Yeah. Mauli, kohomada. Mama Hyundai, mata Hyundai. Hyundai, mata Hyundai. I'm practicing my Sri Lankan. It's getting better. It's getting better. I'm actually able to have a conversation. I went to the local hospital today. They don't speak any English, so I had to speak in Sinhala and describe what I wanted to do, and it was easy. It was easy for me. So, yeah, the Asia Cup is tomorrow. Go Sri Lanka. I am not a huge fan, but I will watch the game with mom and dad. They watched it on Friday, and it was crazy nail biter. Sri Lanka winning. And on to the Asia Cup Final Four. So that is a good thing. I did go to a match in last year, in July of last year. I went to the ODI Australia versus Sri Lanka. The tickets cost me $5 each. Me and Desmond, superstar Desmond, went. These tickets are costing upwards of $300, $400. They did reduce the price because there were no fans in the seats. But the tickets are not being sold by Sri Lankan company, being sold by a Pakistan company. So they're the ones who set the price. But they did reduce the price 95% for the floor seats to get more people in the stands. Mali, I never grew up in Sri Lanka. I was not born in Sri Lanka. I didn't live in Sri Lanka. I've never, this is the first time I've lived in Sri Lanka. When I arrived in Sri Lanka in February of 2021. Yeah, so 2 years ago, when I arrived 2 years ago, it's the first time I've ever lived here. Okay, I was born in China, grew up in Italy, and then lived in Canada my whole life. Yeah, so the politics between Pakistan and India, they cannot go to each other's countries. So Pakistanis cannot go to India, and Indians cannot go to Pakistan. So half the games were hosted here in Sri Lanka, where the games where India and Pakistan would play each other. So, or where India would play, where India and Pakistan would play any country, were played here. Pakistan had some games, and India had some games. Sorry, I apologize. I don't know a lot about the politics of this area. I assumed that it was one or the other. But yeah, I mean, for me, politics, I don't really care. We're all human beings. We should just love each other. Like I say on, I have it tattooed, learn to live life. Don't let life live you, and learn to love each other. Okay? Don't, first off, always love yourself, but then learn to love others as well, because we're just here for a short time. Life sucks too much to hate. That's why I don't get into politics. I don't get into drama. I don't get into anything. You know what? It's so much easier these days to argue with an idiot because I just agree with them. And then they go away. I don't have to waste my time. You're wrong. You're absolutely right. John, welcome to the show, brother. Thank you so much for joining us. Yeah, you're right, brother. Let me tell you. If I could run the AC and it didn't cost an arm and a leg and didn't screw up the way our electrical system is set up, because of the solar power, we can't have the aircon on. It causes damage. And I don't really like air conditioning. It's comfortable, but after a while, it just gets so cold. I love the warmth caressing my body. But when it gets too humid, that's when you need to use the aircon. And I understand. I did use the aircon in the heat of summer in March, April, May. It gets really insane in Colombo. But right now it's cool. And when I was in Ella and New Aurelia, oh my gosh, it was so cold. I had to wear socks. I had to actually wear socks. I am so used to the Sri Lankan temperature that if it gets below 24 degrees, for me, it's chilly. It feels chilly. I used to make fun of seeing Sri Lankans up north in the mountains wearing hats and jackets. And now I realize, they are raised from birth in this heat. And when it gets below that normal temperature, they feel chilly. And I felt it. I experienced it. My feet got a little chilly. And because they don't need the electricity, the cost. And then the other thing is that they buy their food every day. They don't buy food to keep, right? Thank you, brother. Mali, I wish I could say it in Sinhala, but, Minisu are Minisu. We're all brothers. We all come, if you're religious, we all come from one God, right? Whichever religion you believe in. But the thing is that I'm not political, I'm not religious, and I'm not ethnic. Because, and here's the interesting thing, and I think the reason why is because I am not of one country. I'm a Sri Lankan citizen. I'm Sri Lankan blood. I was born with a Sri Lankan passport, but I was born in China, but I'm not Chinese. I grew up in Italy. I'm not Italian. I lived in Canada most of my life. I'm not Canadian. I have a Canadian citizenship. I lived in the United States. I lived in Europe. I lived in Korea for 14 years. I'm not Korean. So I've lived in 10 countries in my life. I've spoken 9 languages, but I don't have a emotional connection to any one country. I love Thailand. I enjoy Philippines. Okay. I love Sri Lanka. I enjoy Canada. I love Korea. What am I? I'm a citizen of the world. If I could travel, and the one beautiful thing I love about having a Canadian citizenship is I can travel anywhere I want so easily and return home to Sri Lanka on my Sri Lankan passport and live here and enjoy the benefits being a citizen of this country, which is living here and not having to leave, or not having to renew my visa. So, yeah, that is true. And I think, Malli, I think the answer to everyone's problems is education. If we can educate everyone to a level that they can use their education to better themselves morally and economically, then we can eliminate poverty. We can eliminate the reasons why people try to immigrate to other places and, cause problems like we're seeing in Italy and Europe right now. And if people can just take care of themselves and their families, then there wouldn't be any drama. There wouldn't be any issues. The other thing to avoid corruption is we need to have accountability. Right now, if I make a mistake at my job, I get fired. Not police, not politicians, not school administrators, things like that. They need to be held accountable, right? They cannot lie, they cannot cheat, and they cannot give themselves raises. It's just not, it's not, we all know everybody is corrupt, even me. If I see an opportunity that I'm not going to hurt anybody, I find a bag of money, I'm keeping it. Plain and simple. Plain and simple. Every movie you ever watched, every single movie, watch any zombie movie or virus movie. How does it happen? Because one person or a group of people look out for themselves or their family and infect everybody. Even though they know they shouldn't do it, they still do it because people are, that is human nature. It is human nature, and you're not going to change human nature, right? So you gotta give them the incentive to not do that. But thank you, brother. I really appreciate you joining the live stream today. I'm going to wrap things up right now for you guys. I got to get to bed soon. It is like 8 o'clock here in Colombo and 11:30 in Korea. I live on Korean time. So whatever time in Korea is what time I am, because I got to get up at 9 o'clock Korean time to do a class. So I want to relax, play a video game for a little bit before I go to bed, get my 8 hours, because let me tell you, I got to start sleeping better because starting Monday morning, long days for me, brother. I want to thank everybody for joining us today, for liking, subscribing, watching, commenting. Please post a comment in the link below. Post a advice. What do you want to see? What do you want to hear? Share, like, and please donate. If you are interested in supporting local farmers in Sri Lanka, not me, local farmers, I will support that one-to-one matching donations to buy a coconut from a farmer. Lots of love to those of you who are doing that. I appreciate it. Stuti, bonus stuti, and blessings to you and your families. Everyone, learn to live life. I have it tattooed right here. Learn to live life. Don't let life live you. This is Sri Lankan Sammy saying, be good to each other. Love all of you. Love everyone. I am out.